Good morning, everyone. Actually, it's afternoon here. You are in the driving seat with Bardolph. Now, we're going to have a look at the new nuke. This is an early look. I haven't done much on it just yet. But firstly, the horizon. We'll do the small stuff. The horizon is much better. Look how bright the sky is. Is this brighter than Dust 2? Because I know we looked at the sky and mentioned that before. Little details. You can see this place was abandoned in haste. It is in America, but there'll be no airstrikes because it is a nuclear facility. One thing that's actually missing from CT Spawn is the old nuke had an APC and then 2 cones, and you could jump between them during warm-up and stuff, but that's gone. Hiding inside the truck is gone, so no more shenanigans there. Outside, we now have a ladder to get up here quickly. So the vent going down is now this open area, and you can get in there really quickly. So you're not going to get jammed in ladders as you might do previously. Continue our journey outside for the time being. Look at so the jump, I believe, has gone because you can just jump on this, and then you still have the corner over here, but obviously you have this now. So just a super fast jump. So we come to outside, and you can see now you can get onto main roof a lot faster, considering all the changes back here, and you have a bit of structure to play with as the CTs can be boosted onto here, and obviously from here in secret as well. So this rail now goes all the way around, which serves both people, but I do think that this does not favour the CTs. So I can get on here. Jumping on this, you kind of slide off, like so. Coming back to here, I don't know why I'm using in-game. Coming back to here, obviously previously you'd have to come around this side of this box, but now there's a proper gap here, so you can come in this way. There's more of a gap here, I would say. It feels like a bigger gap. Might be because of the new boxes, but it feels bigger either way. One thing that was really cool was when people were peeking here on the CT side, you could basically, if you had a nice read, you could just aim here, and you can still do that. But looking at the changes, perhaps you can boost onto here and then jump over there. Looking at the changes, I think it's clear that to properly defend outside, you're going to need more than one person, because you're going to need an AWPer in warehouse covering this line as before, so that person can also defend secret. Being a hiding place in secret as well, interesting. Let's see.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Flashbang! Throwing a flashbang!
You can basically pop flash out of there as well. I mean, that's going to be hard to avoid. Let me see if I crouch.
Flashbang!
So you're going to need, you're going to need an AWPer. This is dangerous because they can, I feel like you're more commonly going to have people potentially boosted up here and then popping down there, or even up here. You can jump down here and go this way, or let's look at the angles for this. You're exposed here if you want to jump down into main. You can get your teammate to flash this position as you jump down, which is kind of cool. So you can have a teammate not showing like this.
Throwing a flashbang!
Okay, let's go. Let's see. Grenade trajectory 1.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Throwing a flashbang. Flashbang.
So that one should do the trick. Landing here as you jump down in front of it, so you're not going to be flashed. Anybody facing is going to be flashed unless they're in this corner, but this is not a good position to be playing, especially against AKs. You know, if you have an M4, if you have a silenced M4 and you're standing here, your gun's going to be pointing out. I mean, if you were here, it's definitely pointing out. If you're here, it's probably pointing out, even if you're aiming here, like that could be the difference between life and death. So you're going to need an AWPer here somewhere. And then you're going to need somebody to deal with this area / main, which, if you have potentially a squeaky player doing it, I mean, I don't think you can, because this window has changed as well. Look how fast this is. Look at that. Instantly out. Bearing in mind,
Grenade!
you can still nade off the door. I feel like perhaps this should be like squeaky door and cache if they're going to make outside this accessible for the T's, because again, like Cobble, this looks like a map where you're going to be very strained on the CC side, and I don't think we want too many maps in the map pool with a Cobble-esque situation, because I think that's going to be harmful. Yeah, bearing in mind how quickly you can jump out this window, it's not realistic to have somebody playing squeaky and worrying about this as well. So then what do you do? Bearing in mind we've got one person outside so far. They've removed the quick boost here, so perhaps, well, I think this is another problem. Like, if they remove the quick boost, so let's say, I mean, bearing in mind this angle here, if you have your AWPer covering you, well, then you can try and play from up here, for example. It's still a bit awkward because you have to watch this angle, or this up area here, and this angle, but I mean, it is what it is. You could get double peaks though, because you can't get into a spot to see. I think there are too many advantages for the T's potentially here, because let's see, you can't, as a CT in this position, I don't think you can see people coming down on the side of this silo here. So that means you can get double peaked from here and here at the same time, for example, or from here and here at the same time. So there are opportunities for the T's to trade. That may not be a bad thing, depending on what we think a layout will have to be for the CTs, because you could say, you know, you can defend things from up here, or even down here. I love this sound, by the way. You can defend things from here, but you can't see somebody drop to main in this position. The guy in here can't see somebody drop to main, so what do? You have to have a guy probably around this position. So that's two people we've got to cover outside now, because one is clearly not enough. So then what do you do on A? Let's have a look at the A site from up here, shall we? Actually, starting here, you can see the ladder's been brought back, so you can safely come up now, or more safely come up. On the site, there are also ladders. You can see, you can quickly jump up here to give yourself a better view of upstairs. Let me see, but you still can't see the ladder position from there. On the hut as well, you can quickly get up this ladder, which I think is really cool because it allows you to hold the site better as T's, or get into post-plant positions faster, and also changes the dynamic with retakes. And there's only one vent to worry about now as well. So, oh, by the way, this area is now inaccessible, although there is a pixel jump over here. You can walk along here. I tried to walk that way, but it didn't work. I haven't tried to jump there, but I expect that to be fixed, so I'm not going to talk about that too much. And again, you can't go that way either. So you've got this hut position, which was always nice and strong. I think the angle is even more awkward for the T's now. Let's see if I can... I can't jump on the line. So now the next question is... Let's look at the entrance here. This feels more spacious, but perhaps it's probably the same, actually. Maybe it's just the brighter light, or the ceiling, perhaps. I don't know, whatever. So, coming into main, you can see that the angle from outside is no longer there. Just about not there, so you're not going to get AWPed by someone unless they're going for a wallbang. Let's see, it doesn't seem to go through. Who knows where it ended up. So that angle has changed. You have a more spacious view here. The question is, how do you defend this as the CTs? Bearing in mind you can't take the high ground upstairs. You can play this position, but you don't have much information. I didn't try... Okay, so the doors still make a noise. You can hear somebody opening the door. But you know, do you play it from up here? Do you play it from here? Do you risk, once the meta, the initial meta is settled on nuke, do you risk playing one person in A, just covering both? You can see it makes a noise there, even on the edge. So I mean, you can risk playing one person A. Perhaps you have a player here in this position with an M4. Although again, maybe like this position, for example. So you might have to mix things up there, and obviously that person could potentially play from here, perhaps a little bit more dangerous. I mean, you could AWP from this position actually. You could put maybe wasted to AWP here, and if they get flashed, then they might be in a bit of trouble. But it looks like maybe this is an angle to hold if you're going to have one person in A, or again just have somebody up top or over here. It might just have to be a guessing game, to be honest. That's assuming one person. And let's have a look at the ramp position. So you can see this angle, this AWPing angle has gone. It used to be a tight crack like this, but it's disappeared now. So this area is more accessible to the Ts. I recently played nuke, and I got wrecked by the pipe that used to be here. Somebody boosted up there, which is kind of annoying. I like how infinite each area is in terms of there's just so much going on up there, which is cool. So this position has changed somewhat. You can see this corner here is no longer a thing. You have a bit of an angle here, which might help you avoid flashbangs, but it's not as, the crossfire is not as strong as before. You still have
I'm throwing a flashback.
the pop flash ability on the corner, and importantly, I used to play nuke with Victor's. He used to play for Very Games, and if he saw like a rush coming, for example, he would spray through the corner of this box. And you can see it's still possible to do that. I haven't checked the damage. This is just a quick look. Maybe I'll do a deeper one in future. So let's see if this position still rocks for the CTs. Yeah, this position's still here, so I like that they haven't done too much to nuke. There's still a lot of familiar things in it. So it doesn't seem like you can shoot through the corner of this box. But you can listen. Very wall bangable, so that's pretty cool. Ooh, this is super wall bangable. So if you have an AWPer in this position, then he could get AWPed through the box. I like that. That's cool. Same for this, I presume. Yep. Nice touch there. So the shelving, all the little jumps are gone. Again, CT spawn, right? You used to have an APC here, and a cone here, or a pole if you will, and a pole over there. And you could jump between them. Who knows if I can make that? I'm not going to spend too much time on it. So, okay, so we've got 2 people outside. Let's say 1 person in A. One thing I haven't checked yet is the rush timings on this map. Let's see. This is cool actually, because again, if your usual position is here and you want to avoid being pre-fired, I mean you have so many spots. You can hold this spot, like anywhere around here basically, anywhere up here as well, which may help you get legged instead of being shot in the chest, and down there. So that's cool. What else do we need to look at here? So let's say, I mean, you could hold ramp with 1 person, but again, if you're playing AWP, then you have to mix things up basically, as you always do on the CT side. Because if you're playing AWP alone and the teams know that, then they can try and play against that. But then that's the nature of the game, isn't it? So we've got 1 person ramp, 2 people outside. And so that means we can play 2 people. Basically, I think people can mainly switch between 2 people in A and 2 people ramp. So either you have an AWPer on ramp, or if you don't have money for the AWP, I think that's going to be one of the big things for the Ts. If the CTs, if the money's broken and they've just got back on the buy, and they know they're not going to have an AWP, what is their play likely to be in terms of 2 on A or 2 on ramp? Because if they choose to try and smoke off ramp, for example, then what do they do after the first smoke is done? That might be telling. Do they try and go for a smoke there?
Smoke!
Or do they go for a deeper one? For a deeper hold towards here? If you have that deeper one, perhaps you can have an A guy rotate. Since it's so easy to get back up here, so let's say, oh no, you have to go that way, don't you? Okay. It's a long rotation to do a smoke, so it's curious. Yeah, I think there are decisions to be made here, but it looks like you're probably going to have 2 people ramp or 2 people in A. Now, let's see what it's like for pushes from the CTs. Let's say you have a CT there and your ramp guy with the AWP. Bit risky, but
I'm throwing a flashback. Throwing a flashbang.
look at that pop flash. It's like I've been playing this map for years. So the teammate drops a pop flash in there. You can come around this corner. Just got to be worried about here basically. So you can get yourself, some additional control that way. Or if you're inside A. Okay, so there is an angle here.
Flashbang! Throw in a flashbang!
Well, you get the idea. You could, as always, you can just creep through here. If you're AWPer outside, or if you have the guy playing around this area, outside is pops in here, holds the angle for you, then you can have a butcher's hook around here. So, yeah, I think mainly you're going to have 2 people in A or 2 people on ramp, and I'd say definitely 2 people outside, unless you want to take massive risks, basically, which I wouldn't recommend. So, actually, let me restart the map.
Go, go, go!
So previously,
I'm throwing a grenade!
Okay, so you can still nade the vent and the door at the same time with the HE from inside the lobby, and now you're a lot safer doing it because you can't get shot from main. So that's really good. And then I had a gimmick where I used to do that and drop a smoke, which would smoke off the door and smoke off the vent. That one's fallen in the door. So let me see. I'm curious to if I can cover both with one smoke. Okay, so that if I move that a little bit to the right, then I'm pretty much golden, I think. So I could sneak into the vent. So the gimmicks are still there for the T side, I would say. Also, they can't have the high ground above you, so they're not going to see you unless they're on the hut itself. Let's see if I just put this here.
Smoke!
So that's pretty much enough coverage here, bearing in mind, unless they're on the floor, it's just a guessing game here. And you can throw pop flashes into this smoke as well.
Flashbang!
So, let's see if I don't aim that so low.
I'm throwing a flashbang.
But you can see how far it's possible to do it just standing. So if I throw out pop flashes around here, then you can use that smoke to mix things up. You can use that smoke if you're on an eco, for example, to try and get a fast plant into B. Or you can mix it up. What used to sometimes happen was when people knew what was going on with that smoke, the second player would rotate from wherever he was over here to over there, and you could just rush out from here and start shooting, and you can combine that with that flashbang as well. So that's a bit of a gimmicky mix-up. Mainly, I'd say for eco rounds, you know, you've got a few PC-50s, a smoke and a flash, and you just want to get a plant and then do as much damage as possible. Yeah, that vent has gone as well. Oh, I haven't mentioned actually this position for a second player in A as well. You could have one person in A and just have them play this position. The problem is, if people, again, it's a case of just mixing up your CT formation, but you know, if you're playing that position and they choose to go A, then you're going to be in trouble, because once they're out here and you're there, then there's probably more than one person there. You're probably going to get traded, and then they've got the site, and this rail's a pain in the bum, but yeah, they can get the high ground pretty quickly. You could even boost someone over there. So again, how useful is this position? Actually, if you're playing one person A on that in that corner, for example, then you could have one person covering up here, kind of like this, a bit back. I'm trying to think of where else is reasonable. This position, your gun's going to be exposed to the T's, I'm pretty sure. But you can have a player up here as well with an AWP who can quickly provide assistance. But probably not quick enough, and probably not best suited to deal with the rush. But anyway, it's another option for the team.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Throwing a flashbang.
Beautiful pop flash there. You're welcome. Okay, so yeah, we've covered that position. We haven't looked at the B bomb site yet, I'm conscious of. I'm curious if this is going to make the CTs more aggressive on the map, or if it gives them the potential to be. So this is wallbangable. That doesn't seem to be. Okay, so let's have a look at secret, shall we? Again, we've got a big space over here. Definitely not a favourable position, because your legs would no doubt be exposed. I don't know if you see the other person's legs. I can't be bothered to get a bot out and check. So we've got a Mag 7 position here, perhaps. That looks like it could be a blind spot as well if it's not checked properly. So
Flashbang. Throw in a flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang.
this is all fairly similar. Ooh. Ooh. What is this? Ah, so the squeaky door here has now changed into this situation, which is great for retakes and also takes, and for generally being sneaky as hell. So they've removed the vent and basically added utility. By the way, press E and you can do that. So they've removed the vent and added utility by another pathway into the site. And then you've got the control area here. So you've still got a sneaky position here, and another Mag 7 / CZ57 position.
Grenade out.
That's not a room. It is a room! Okay, so we have a toxic.
Grenade.
So it's just changed. So there's a door here. Interesting. Got a little peek room here, but your head is exposed as well. What an interesting dynamic. So there's lots of post-plant positioning available here. Even leaving this door open creates a crossfire with the control position, which has always been strong. I haven't checked the plant area actually.
I'm planted.
Okay. Is it like within this red? So the red line appears to be the plant area. So you can plant behind the sites as well. That's good for if you're going for that rush. Let's see how realistic it is. Let's say I've got my smoke down and I'm just charging. I don't know where I'm going anymore. Okay, that's a bit longer, but
Activating the bomb.
that still looks doable. It's interesting that you have to run across this way. I'm not. I don't dislike that dynamic. So post plant's going to be interesting, and the added time will definitely help with that for the CTs because there are fair few places to clear. This is beautiful, by the way. This is really, really well done. So props to Valve for all of this. So yeah, this room, Toxic has moved from over here to over here. So you can still have your shenanigans. You can just hide behind the door. And if they check it, pop them in the face. There is a window here. But again, you can just sit here with an AK. They check it, in the face, open the door, in the face. I think how this bomb site plays out, we'll just have to see over time. But yeah, I'm thinking two ramp or 2A. And definitely 2 outside. So it might not be as bad as I initially thought. I think it might make quite an interesting dynamic actually. But again, I do think if you put the numbers outside on the T side, it's gonna be hard for the CTs. You put the numbers outside, and let's see. Assuming there's a door here. You can have somebody holding this angle, or although that means that the CTs could come in and get some information. If you have two inside A, you could perhaps have one like this and one playing at whatever angle you like, basically even up here. So it looks like we're in for an interesting time on nuke.